report about the introduction of law enforcement and crime prevention together with my groupmates. Before we start, let's do some exercise. I know that everyone is familiar to the game name for Picks One Word. And yet, let's take a look to the PowerPoint presentation, so here it is. Anyone who wants to guess the word, you can share with us. Okay, it seems like everyone is hard to guess the word. Here is the hint. Who do you think are responsible to enforce laws? Good job. Yes, that's true, the police. They are the one who are responsible to enforce laws. So let's move on to the next slide. First, let me define what is the definition of law enforcement. Yet, I have researched the definition of law enforcement. In first bullet, it says that the law enforcement is the task of ensuring the provision of security for citizens, going about their daily lives. Meaning, the law enforcer makes sure that citizens are secure, as always, because this statement focuses only the citizen security. And in the second bullet, according to the Merriam-Webster, law enforcement is the department of people who enforce laws, investigate crimes, and make arrests. In the second bullet, Merriam-Webster identified who is to be called as the law enforcer as they act to investigate crimes and make arrests.
Fundamental concept of law enforcement administration. The concept of law enforcement encompasses all levels such as federal, state, and local of executive branch of government. It includes agencies that enforce administrative codes and regulation. This is the rules of agencies and criminal laws related to the health, safety, and welfare. So ano nga ba ang law enforcement administration? Ito ang mga tumutukoy sa mga samahan at namamahala sa isang pulisya. The concept, ito yung mga nagpapatupad ng batas na mayroong humahawak sa isang mataas at hawak nito ang lahat ng level. Ito yung hawak niya ay federal, state, and local. So sila yung parang namamahala sa lahat at sila yung nagpapatupad ng batas. It includes agencies that enforce administration. Dito naman ay kasama na dito ang mga kahulugan na nagpapatupad ng mga codes. Ito yung mga binibigay nilang codes ng pangangasiwa at regulasyon ng batas o kriminal kaugnay sa kalusugan at kaligtasan ng bawat tao. What will happen if there were no law enforcement? So ano nga ba ang mangyayari sa atin? So our country would destroy. Masisira ito dahil kapag walang batas ay maaaring magkaroon ng maraming krimen gaya ng mga pagnanakaw o anumang krimen na nauukol sa batas at lapag ito sa batas. We can do what we want. So magagawa natin lahat ng gusto natin kapag walang batas. Tama nga naman. Pero dahil dito masisira ang ating bansa. Either may gagawa ng good dahil gusto nilang manatili na sila ay matino o pipiliin nilang maging tapat at maging mabuti sa kapwa. Meron din naman mamimili ng bad at ang bansa natin ay magkakaroon ng maraming krimen gaya ng pagnanakaw, hold up o kahit anong krimen. Ito ang sinabi ko kanina, kaya kapag walang batas ay masisira ang ating bansa.
So, why we need the law enforcer? So, ano nga ba ang law enforcer? Ang law enforcer, sila yung nagpapatupad ng batas na dapat nating sundin para sa ikakabuti o para sa ikakaayos ng ating bansa. Law enforcer respond to detect and prevent crime. Crime is yung mga illegal activities tulad ng gambling or etc. na ano pang mga illegal activities. Napapabilang din dito yung mga crimes like pag nakapatay ka or whatsoever na may nagawa kang illegal na activity. Significant in adapting and responding to unexpected or unknown situations, as well as recognized situations such as theft or domestic dispute. Sila din yung kumbaga sila yung dapat rumesponde sa mga unexpected or unknown situations. Kunwari may biglang nangyari diyan sa daan na may ninakawan or hinold up, parang gano'n. Sila yung rumoresponde.
The historical background on policing. On October 21,
1968, the National Institute of Law Enforcement and Criminal Justice was created by the Omnibus Crime Control and Safe Street Act of 1968. And this act was a revision during the 1960s regarding the issue of law, order, and justice. The President was conducted a monumental study on Commission of Law on Law Enforcement. In the early 90s, the modern police force started, but its origin dates back to the colonies. In the 70s, patrol groups were created to stop runaway slaves. Now, police departments across the country are facing accusations of brutality and racial profiling. Each member of the group was given authority to enforce the established rules, and individuals who deviated from for student of policing. An appreciation of history is essential in order to understand the contemporary structure of law enforcement.
In the 21st century, it is especially important to study the history of policing for several reasons. First, in the American context, to figure out what went wrong or even whether anything went wrong or whether these new problems in fact old problems that have been recognized. In an era of greater surveillance, it is far harder to hide crimes than ever before, and there is ample evidence that police, if unrecorded, can do lie on official reports if they fear the consequences. If policing was even better anywhere, even if in a foreign country, in any way, then these methods might be useful in the future. To study policing is to come to an understanding of the nature of policing, or rather its many different natures. It is only by doing so that anyone politically engaged in some of the largest modern problems, the violence and brutality of the police, impact of police, racism, and the difficulties of addressing a legacy of bigotry both within the police and within society, can come to useful answers about what to do. The past can be a teacher, a guide, and also show the limitations of either certain forms, reforms, or actions. The answer one takes from extent a matter of individual judgment. At the same time, valuable experience in research and training was being accumulated by the Office of Law Enforcement Assistance Act of 1965. During its 3-year life, the office sponsored a truthful grant program involving hundreds of projects throughout the country. The urgent need for a local point to bring the nation's research and development potential to bear on the problems of law, order, and justice led to the conception.
Philosophy that promotes organizational strategies that support the systematic use of partnership and problem-solving techniques to proactively address that immediate conditions that gives rise to public safety issues such as crime, social disorders, and fear of crime. Historical background on policy, but what has found to be the greatest needs is the needs to know America has learned that uses of exploration and discover and knowledge in shaping, controlling its physical environment, in protecting itself, in furthering its national security and its countless other areas. The revolution of scientific discovery has largely bypassed the problem of crime and crime control.
Modern policing system is transparent and accountable. Transparent because it is easy to perceive since police are publicly open in their actions, activities, and anything that are related to their responsibilities even without agreement or having something in return. And it is accountable because being transparent, police are expected to be more responsible towards their actions, activities, or practices, which mean that they should be fair and able to do what is right.
Modern policing system.
It is important to examine the history of policing in the United States in order to understand how it has progressed and changed over time. Alterations to the purpose, duties, and structure of American police agencies have allowed this profession to evolve from ineffective watch groups to a police agencies that incorporate advanced technology and problem-solving strategies into their daily operations. History of modern policing. The era of modern policing began during the late 1700s and early 1800s when the explosive population driven by the Industrial Revolution led to an equally explosive growth in crime and civil unrest. So ito ay nagsimula noong 1700s and early 1800s nang lumaki ang populasyon ay siya ring pagdami ng krimeng nagaganap. Policing in colonial America was carried out by a combination of citizen volunteers along with the elected sheriffs and local militias. Ang policing noon ay binubuo ng mga nagboboluntaryo at mga hukbo ng militar. The first full-time dedicated city police department in the United States was established in Boston 1838. Today, more than 420,000 officers in more than 18,000 United States police departments deal with about 8.25 million crimes and make over 10 million arrests a year. Since the early 2000s, United States police departments have increasingly been criticized of unequal enforcement o hindi pantay na pagpapatupad. Racial profiling, a practice of targeting particular people because of their ethnic background or race. Militarization, the process by which a society organizes itself for military conflict and violence. An excessive use of force o labis na paggamit ng puwersa, especially against people of color. Police have responded to this criticism by employing community policing reforms intended to gain the trust of people they serve. Policing thus may be performed by several different professional organizations. Public police forces, private security agencies, the military and government agencies with various surveillance and investigative powers. The best known of this body are the public constabulary forces that patrol public spaces, often in marked cars and whose members wear a uniform. They are the most visible representative of the civil authority of government and they provide the model typically associated with police organizations.
Hello guys! Now, let's identify who is the father of modern policing. So, sino nga po ang father of modern policing? A veteran police chief committed to improving police leadership, trust, effectiveness, and officer safety. Sir Robert Peel or Sir Robert Peel, 2nd Baronet in his full name, became known as the father of modern policing. So, ang binansagan po o nabansagan pong father of modern policing ay walang iba kundi si Sir Robert Peel o Sir Robert Peel, 2nd Baronet sa kanyang buong pangalan, na isa rin pong veteranong pulis. Sir Robert Peel served twice as Prime Minister at United Kingdom and also served as Home Secretary at United Kingdom also. So, nanilbihan po si Sir Robert Peel bilang isang Prime Minister ng 2 beses at 2 beses din bilang isang Home Secretary. Sir Robert Peel was born in February 5, 1788 and died in July 2, 1850 at United Kingdom. So, ayun po. Next here is some of Sir Robert Peel contribution in policing. In 1829, Sir Robert Peel created the Metropolitan Police in London and along with it proposed the principles under which way would became efficient in maintaining safety and security within the community under the law. So, ginawa daw po ni Sir Robert Peel ang Metropolitan Police in London, England. Nang main function po ng Metropolitan Police is to focus primarily on crime o mapigilan ang krimen at panatilihin ang kaligtasan ng komunidad. Next, Sir Robert Peel also improved prisons. So, how? Paano po na-improve ni Sir Robert Peel ang prisons? Sir Robert Peel reformed the penal code by reducing the number of crimes punishable by death by 100. So, ayun po. Binago daw po ni Sir Robert Peel ang penal code sa pamamagitan ng pagbawas sa bilang ng krimen na may kaparusahan pong kamatayan. And as a result po dito, many minor crimes were punished more proportionately. So, ayun po ang ilang contribution ni Sir Robert Peel sa policing. Now, let's move to the 3 core principles of policing. First, the goal of policing is preventing crime, not catching criminals. Effective police departments have low arrest rates because their communities have low crime rates. So, ang true motive po ng policing is hindi po ang paghuli ng criminals, kundi ang pagpigil sa paglaganap ng krimen sa ating bayan. Second, to prevent crime, police must earn public supports. If the community trusts and supports the police, all citizens will share the responsibility of preventing crimes as if they were a volunteer police force. Sa madaling sabi po, kapag may kooperasyon, tiwala at suporta ang mga mamamayan sa opisyal, mas magiging mabuti po ang ating komunidad. Number 3, to earn public support, the police must respect community principles.
Related laws about law enforcement and crime prevention. The agency who enforces a law is the Department of Justice or the DOJ. Republic Act No. 9851 or the Crime Law of the Philippines includes murdering, homicides, rape, and etc. Republic Act No. 10175 or Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 through social media.
Laws tulad po ng human rights. So, yun nga po. Ano po ba ang human rights? Ang human rights po ay nasa sayo na yan. At ang woman rights po ay isang disiplinado na tao or sa simulat sa Paul na pinanganak ka or namatay ka man, meron na yan sa iyo. At nandyan na din yung salitang respect, katulad ng pag-respect mo sa sarili mo or sa pamilya mo or sa ibang tao na nakakasalamuha mo sa iba. Katulad ng mga kaibigan mo or pinsan at kung sino-sino pang mga taong rinirespeto mo, syempre ganun din yung gagawin nila sa'yo.